Hello, my name is Nick Buccellato, and I'm an international relations major at SF State. And today I'm going to be talking to you about U.S. foreign policy on the use of paramilitary forces and private security agencies. Paramilitary force use has been controversial in the past and the recent present. Some of the events that come to mind are the Iran-Contra affair in the 1980s, the use of private contractors for security training in Bosnia in the 1990s. In the more recent decade, the controversial use of private contractors and security forces in Iraq and Afghanistan. Paramilitaries and private contractors fulfill a security need in U.S. foreign policy. Essentially, there is too many theaters of conflict that need to be applied to, and unfortunately not enough regular military forces to take care of that need. This is only expected to increase moving on into the future, and especially with the 2014 drawdown of the U.S. military, we're expected to see a shrinking in the size of the U.S. Army and Marine Corps. Understanding paramilitary forces is a very important aspect before engaging in any type of relationship with them, as it's often opportunistic, as we saw with the Mujahideen in the 1980s, and as such, policy has to be adjusted accordingly. One of the positives for the use of paramilitary forces and even private contractors is that both are cheaper than even current regular military options. It costs about $1 million to train a single soldier and deploy him for a year. It's cheaper, and thus it's cheaper to use a contractor, and even more so just to supply weapons to indigenous paramilitary forces. One of the problems that we face currently with paramilitary forces and contractors is lack of oversight and a covert nature, which fosters a culture of concealment. There's really no congressional oversight, and this has caused a lot of controversies, such as the Blackwater incident in 2006. It creates a problem of legitimacy when talking about U.S. foreign policy and propping up allied governments. Luckily, there have been attempts at self-regulations started several years back. Back in 2006, private security associations in the United Kingdom joined together to set guidelines in order to promote their interests. Of course, if essentially they didn't want other contractors causing contracts to dry up because of poor management. In 2007, Iraq decreed that private security companies would no longer be exempt from prosecution. This was one of the big things that caused controversy in Iraq. In 2007, the Secretary of State called for more strict regulation, and this aligned private military rules of engagement to that of the military, which is a step in the right direction. Demand for security only grows as our operational theaters increase or even remain the same. If we're not going to change the demand for the security forces around the world, we need to proceed with correct oversight measures for their effective use in the future.